Hello, everybody. How are we feeling? How are we doing? Come and meet me here with the hands on the knees as we go over some pelvic tilting and tucking. Both positions are beneficial in different forms, and we're going to go over them today. But first, we want to start by just isolating the hips. So, keeping the movement in the hips, we want to avoid that cat cow position, moving the back too much. We want to keep it right there in the hips. Whenever you're tucking, you're engaging the core. Whenever you're tilting, you're really engaging those glutes. So we're going to tuck and tilt and then hold that tilt. And then we're going to come into a standing position. So coming back and forth from this squat to this standing position, making sure we hold that tilt in the pelvis and keeping the back nice and flat. These are a couple drills that will absolutely help you with the hamstrings, as well as becoming more aware of your glute and your core engagement. So let's push through and hold that tilt, holding, keeping that microscopic bend in the knees and keeping the back nice and flat. Yes. And then we're going to go back and modify step one. So in step one, we were focused on tilting that pelvis, tilting and tucking. But when we use this strap, we're going to really focus on being able to pull yourself into that tilted position, which if the hamstrings are very tight, it can be hard and the back will start to round whenever you come forward. You want to grab that strap, grab down as low as you can, and use the strap to pull the pelvis straight forward. So you're pulling the back into this flat position. So we're going to tuck and just pull the pelvis forward. I want you to imagine that both ends of the strap are attached to your pelvic bone and you're using that strap to just pull the hips straight forward, reducing the movement in our back and trying to keep the pelvis moving, holding and breathing. So I want you to do that hold again, keeping the back nice and flat. At this point, you should feel a very deep stretch in your hamstrings. And let's not forget to entertain the cat. Up next, we're going to go over the benefit of the tuck position. And plank is such a great place. Please ignore the fact that my shoulders aren't in alignment, but let's focus on my hips. We're going to tuck the tailbone. I want you to come from this arch position to this tuck position. So tuck the booty in. Do not stick it out. I don't want to see it. Tuck it in. Up next, we're going to hop into a wide leg forward fold. And unlike the plank, in this position, you want to make sure the pelvis is tilted and not tucked. So we're going to go and do a few repetitions here, but if the hamstrings aren't open, it's going to be a little challenging. So I'm going to offer a modification using a low seating chair for all of my girls with the tight hammies. Go grab a chair for me, please. A low seater, folding chair, stool, ottoman, anything about that height. We're going to start with the feet about shoulder width apart. Check your alignment. Turn to face your stool, your chair, whatever you have. We're going to place the hands right on top. And again, we want to really focus on isolating the hips, keeping that microscopic bend in the knees. I don't want you guys to lock all the way out. Keeping the movement in the hips, so tucking and tilting and being very aware of our core and our glute engagement. Remember, the core is engaged on the tuck, the glutes are engaged on the tilt. And if needed, you guys can always grab that strap and use it the same way we did when the legs were closer together and really focus on pulling the pelvis forward. Up next, this is where we want to avoid that cat and cow movement. Too much in the back, not enough in the hips. We want to isolate the hips. So just keep the movement right there in the pelvis, tucking and tilting and engaging the core, engaging the glutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this little lesson. Comment below any other lessons that you would like for me to drop, and I got y'all. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. More content is on the way.